Hello, everyone. Welcome to the book lunch. So we are here um, talking about a book lunch that is going to take place on Thursday, February 15 on World's Hippo Day. We're doing it here live because it is part of one global movement's mission and vision to help young people all over the world and children to provide them with tools that they can use to build on their hopes and their dreams, and also help them to defeat hunger, illiteracy, poverty, homelessness, abuse, and all other social challenges that face our young people worldwide. And so I am here in the studio with Al Golden Touray. And this will be his second book, Lunch. He wrote the first children's book, and now he is on the second children's book. And like that will be the first one, and that is yes, there you go, the second book, Lunch. So a little bit about Al Touray, but I will also let him introduce himself. So I would like you to uh, can you tell the audience about who you are and what you're doing presently?
Yeah. So my name is Al Ghazali. I also go by Al. I am a college student and I'm in college for engineering, but during my spare time I also like to write some stories like the ones that my mom over here mentioned to all of you.
Okay. So, yes, you just told the audience I'm your mom. Of course, I am your mom. Thank you so much for letting the audience know. And what are you majoring in school?
Like well I did say engineering, but specifically aerospace.
Okay. And how has that been going on for you?
Not too bad. Very interesting. Tricky but interesting
Oh, glad to
and fun.
hear. I'm glad to know that it's tricky, but it's interesting. I'm asking because a lot of people, when they ask, what is your son doing in school? I said aerospace. They'll be like, oh, how can he do that? How does he do that? Is he doing okay with it? I said, well, I know he loves it because from little, that's just what he has always been wanting to do. We didn't just know what kind of engineer he's going to be, but we knew that he was going to be some kind of engineer and he's going to choose an engineering course. And here we are today. But thank you so much. And today I want to, when it says, there's a saying that charity begins at home. We in One Global Movement, we're trying to help young people in all aspects of life, especially help children that are not fortunate enough to have a home, to have even parents, to have enough food to eat, or to even begin to know how to read and write. And so I said, I will start with you because you started reading at a very young age before you turned 3, and you read a lot and you were building a lot of things. And I thought, you should be an example to young people out there that they can do anything. They can write their own story. They can write their own books. They can do whatever they want to do. And so today we're going to just be discussing on how things are going to go. And I know you have another interview on Wednesday at the same time. And
Yeah.
Thursday, it's World Hippo Day. And you're publishing that book on Thursday. And you might not be able to be there, but I will be there from 4:45 p.m. until maybe 12 midnight or above 12 midnight because of your schooling. But if you have the chance, stop by. And you can share the link to your friends too, because they can walk by and say something. Because right now, as we speak, a lot of children have books that they've written. They don't know what to do with it. And now they can also ask you questions on how can they publish their books, what can they do. And a lot of them have stories. They have interesting stories that they can write to empower the world or empower other children. They are shy, they are ashamed to do those things. So we're going to begin with some questions now. Can you tell us a little bit about your your journey, your journey as a writer? Can you tell us about that?
So here's the thing. I've been coming up with some creative stories, original characters of mine
Can you
since
be a
about
little bit audible,
November.
please? Are you in the library or something?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I can talk louder. Can you hear me now?
a little bit, yeah.
All right. So basically, I've been writing stories forever, ever since I knew how to draw and write. Um, I wrote really good ones since fifth grade about, well, not so much stories, but I did make up some original characters, including animals and superheroes. And and I I've been doing all that, but I did not publish my first book until over a year ago, back in 2022. It was, I forgot the exact date, but it was in October of 22, and it was published on International Sloth Day.
Yes.
And that book is called How the Special Sloth Became Fast. And then I got my second book here,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one that we're going to talk about. So, yeah, that's my writing journey.
Yeah, congratulations because I know it's not easy. I know that I've seen the first book, even this one, and I see the kind of graphics that you draw. I'm like, how do you just do this? Because usually when people write children's book, they send it out to people that will do the graphics. But it's so amazing that you're doing your own graphics, and I know that you can do that, and you do it so well with color coordination because ever since you were little, you've been drawing and building things, and you are so good with drawing. So thank you so much for that writing journey. I know because I'm your mother that you've always been trying to write, but um as a young man, you also have other things to take care of, go to school, do other things, work, and all of those things. But now you took the leap of faith last year, and you said you were going to be publishing it again this the second book this year, and here we are today. And I just want to encourage other children that are listening and other young people that you can do this. If you have any project, not just necessarily writing a book, that you want to do it. Take a leap of faith, and you will fail your way to success. I watch you uh, uh, drawing and photocopying and redoing things because that's just the way things are being done. People do it and do it again, and if they fail, they do it again. And here you are. And Thursday is not far. You chose the World Hippo Day. Why did you choose the World Hippo Day for your book?
Well, simple reason. The book is about hippos. So, and I just looked up on Google one day, is there a day about hippos? And sure enough, February 15th, World
Oh,
Hippo
wow.
Day.
That is so nice because I think that shows your love for animals. Because I know that since you were little, you love animals. I was surprised when you were very little. We had these geese that were coming in, and you said, "Oh, wow, mommy, the Canadian geese are here." And I said, "How do you know they are from Canada?" You said, "Yeah, I know my animals." And then you started naming some animals in Australia, animals in Africa. I'm like, wow. And even right here now, you spend quite a big chunk of your money buying food for animals. So that is to teach us, all of us, both parents and children, that animals are very important. They are there for a reason. They're not just there. Animals are very important. They're important for us, maybe as companions, maybe as protection for us, maybe as food, whatever. But they, maybe also for the ecosystem. They are good for the ecosystem. And so animals are very important. So what was the initial spark or idea that led you to write your book? What made you to even write this book?
Let's see. So it all started before sixth grade. I've had, I knew that hippos were so aggressive, so I came up with a story in my mind. I even told it to my cousin, but yeah, it's been in my head forever. And last year I decided to finally make it into a story.
I think
So yeah,
that's
that's how it
wonderful.
came up.
Wonderful. That's really wonderful because, anything in life that we do comes from our own thinking. You first think about something, now you want to make it tangible by doing it. And this is exactly what you did, which is what inspired you. And how will you describe your writing style and the themes you explore in your book? What is your writing style, and what themes did you explore in the book?
Uh, my writing style is show a lot and also tell quite a bit. I'd say it's like most other kids' books, and in terms of themes, one of them is about bullying because it asks the question, why are hippos so mean? But they were not in this story. They were not always mean. They faced some hardships from the other animals because of the way they look. So this story explores that journey.
Okay. Wow. That is very interesting to know because, sometimes what people, the first impression or first sight of something is not actually what people think that it is. Because if, like hippos are bullies, like people can just see them because they are big, they think they are bullies, but in actual sense, they are not even bullies, some of those animals, I compare it with other animals that we have, like animals that we domesticate them, like dogs and cats. A lot of time dogs are not mean unless people they're trying to be mean to them, then they try to defend themselves. And I think it's the same thing with other animals, even the hippo, which is what you have written about. So this is so interesting, and it is a very interesting story. And then now I would really like you to, I know you've kind of said something about the book, but I would like you to give the audience a brief overview of the story from the beginning to the end.
All right. So generations ago, hippos were, well, fictionally, they were peaceful, relatively speaking. They were just living their lives. And unfortunately, several animals bullied them. And it came to a point where the hippos got tired of it. And that led to their modern day aggression towards almost anything and anybody that goes near them or goes in their river or lake, which is, and yeah, it makes them very dangerous to be around. They will absolutely destroy you if you get close to a hippo.
Okay. Yes, yes, and I think it's comparable to even humans. When people are living their lives, they're being peaceful, and there are some troublemakers. What do people do when people push you and push you? What do? You have to also defend yourself, right? And that's why some animals, not even all animals, when you disturb them, they fight back. The dog, like we teach children not to go closer to dogs or pets that they don't know. They have to ask if they can even pet any animal or they can go close. So this is a very big lesson that you're teaching. So this is so important. You face did you face any challenges while writing this book?
Yeah, obviously schoolwork, and other than that, um, right, drawing 50 something pages is quite difficult, especially if you want to make it look decent.
Mhm.
Well, relatively difficult, and then you have to color it. So it took me a process of over a year due to me due to me putting it off to like kind of the side compared to other things that I also want to do in life.
Okay, and
It
that is
takes patience
understandable.
too.
Really understandable because you are at the age where every young person is it's looking for their identity. They want to build their future. They want to get their education. They want to get some money. They want to do all of those things. Those are a lot of things, and the hormones too are also changing. So a lot of things come into play. And to be able to write a children's book, it's something that just even with other things, especially things that deal with children, is something that one needs to focus on it. Especially, you mentioned before that you do words as well as pictures, because you understand the concept of children learning by seeing. They learn by seeing, like the pictures will direct them. They will know that this picture is this, and then, excuse me, you kind of describe them a little bit with words, which is very, very good, because when they see the pictures, it will be easy for them sometimes to read the words. And I know that because you dealt a lot with a lot of drawing. Actually, we have more than a suitcase of your drawings and your artwork since you were small. And this is so good and very important for people to know. And I also know, because I'm your mother, that you started reading at a very, very young age. And I had some fears. And your dad said, no, you're okay because they are too smart in their family. I said, no, our family too is smart. And I said, no, this child is too young to be reading. So what happened was, when you were born at the hospital, St. John's Hospital in Maplewood here, they gave you a job at, I think, 2, 3 days old. I'm like, how do they give a baby a job? And they kept coming. And you were the king of the nursery because you were very tall. You came out big and tall. And we refused. They kept following us until after 6 months. Then your dad said, let's go see what these people are all about. So we drove uh, into Minneapolis for almost an hour, and we saw the office, and they gave you the job. So your job was to take, I think, was it quarterly or after every 6 months, you go and take pictures. We take you to a place that they send us, you take pictures, and then we send those pictures to them. And so we got to this mall in Woodbury, and it was difficult to go around with you because you wanted to read every letter on the way. Sometimes we're looking for people to keep you home with, because you will not move. You will cry. If you want to read something, you will go like this. You look until you read it. Otherwise, we don't go. And people were always staring at us because you were so difficult to go out with. Even in the toy section of the store, it was something. We were just always tired all the time, just standing there until you became hungry before we can leave. And one time I can remember during when you were Head Start, you were in Head Start, and we were just driving around town. You saw your school, you started crying, say, school, school. And we said, no, this is the weekend. You said school, you were screaming like crazy. So we drove to the school. We said, see, the doors are closed. The teachers are not here. Nobody is here. There are no cars. You said, no. You wanted to open that door. You started crying. The police came. The police came and said, are you guys okay here? We said, he wants to go to school. And I remember your grandmother crying and said, you guys should take all these books away from this child. I grew. We didn't read. They didn't send me to school, but I'm reading. I'm reading today. I'm not reading, but I grew up well. Why are you guys punishing this child with books? You love reading, and it shows. At this place where we went in Woodbury, there was this word written there. It was I think a Spanish restaurant. It says La Cucaracha. I will never forget. You were almost 3 years old. You looked and looked, and they were looking at us. Why you kept doing that? People were passing and looking, and we were just, because we couldn't say let's go, you will cry. And you just went, La Cucaracha. Oh my God. One lady who passed by came back and said, can I please ask how old this child is? We said, you are almost 3. You were, I think, about 3 months short of 3 years. He said, you guys get ready. Get ready. A lot of instances that I can quote. So that is just to show that what you started as as a baby, even in the stomach, because my grandmother taught me to read to you in the stomach when you start moving. And me and your dad were reading to you all the time. And you grow up to love reading. So that is so important. I'm just saying this so that people who are watching, parents should know that it is always a good thing to start reading to your child while the child is in the stomach. Tell the child, bless the child, pray over the child, really tell the child what you want that child to come out to be. And it happens more than 80% of the time. And so that is such a good thing. So You said you faced challenges because of the other things that you were doing. How did you overcome the challenges? How did you prioritize your things, plan to make sure that you were studying at the same time? Being an aerospace engineering student entails a lot. You're studying. You're also at one point you were working, if I can remember, because you wanted to provide for your own gas and your own things. So how did you overcome these challenges? Because and to really go through to write these books and draw all those graphics, how did you overcome them?
Well, uh, number one, it took me so long to write the book. So yeah, I kind of put that to the side, and in order to have more time for things. Um, Number two, I just, I mean, I guess I just do it because, and even so, I haven't even fully developed that habits I need. A lot of students procrastinate. I'm one of those people, but ultimately, for almost all of the part, I get it done, get the work done, do my absolute. I mean, it definitely could be better, but I get it done, and yeah, I would like to improve, and I'm constantly improving. I'm
Wow.
actually working.
Still, that is something to applaud you for because it's not all about procrastination. You had other things going on that I know of. But sometimes we can procrastinate, not just you, us parents too. So we're trying to do away with procrastination. And some of the ways that we teach in One Global Movement is for how to help our children plan ahead of time and then plan. They can split their tasks into little achievable goals that they can achieve one at a time, and then go to the next one, and then making sure that they're doing well, because sometimes if they put things off and they try to do everything all at once, it a lot of times they become overwhelmed, and then they don't do it well. And just even the same thing with the exam. So but finally you did it. I think that is something to be proud of, that finally you did it, and that is so great. And I'm really so happy for you that you're doing this a second book in a row. That is something great. That is something. And I know that you had talked before that you want to be able to write, to promote the early reading in children, and also to encourage writing. And you also want to help young people, which I've actually seen you help them with those that are struggling with math and higher math. I've seen you do that. So is that still your plan? And if so, are you doing that now, or maybe that might be for the future?
Yeah, you did mention saying, yeah, I I do want to promote early reading in kids, and I would like to do it. I'd like to continue writing at least a few more stories on that part. Um, Upcoming stories that are coming, I don't even know yet. Might be about sea creatures, or maybe not even animals at all. Might be about planes. We'll see about that.
Okay. I think being that you were an early reader, a toddler reading, I would say, I think that is a good thing to do to other children, and especially kids that are struggling with math. You think you can write a math book someday, because you know how to help kids that are struggling with mathematics.
That's a good idea. I could probably do that.
It will be interesting to see how that book is going to be. But this is really to encourage children out there. When you have your story, and each and every one of us should write our own story. And you're writing yours, taking your skills, what your parents taught you beginning from the womb and up to a very young age. Now you are utilizing it to also promote the spirit of early reading in children. That is such a wonderful thing to do, to help other children that are struggling. I remember when you were younger, you would not let anybody yell to a child. We went to this traditional social gathering, and they yell at this young girl, and she started crying. Said, "No, auntie, don't yell at her. She does not know what she's doing." You took that little girl and you started reading to her, because you always go to places with your book. The books were so important to you, and I think that is a wonderful thing. So, and do you you just said something, but I think I'm still going to ask this question. Because you said you sometimes you procrastinate. So what does your writing process look like? Do you follow a strict routine, or you just write when you are inspired to write?
Well, I do spread out the days that I work on my stories, but basically I write the script first. I don't just start drawing. I just don't. I don't just start drawing on the fly as I write my story. I write the whole story first, and then I make the drawings to accompany each line or page that I wrote. So that really helps a lot during my process.
I think that's good, because when you write the words down, now you begin to picture the graphics. How you're going to draw the graphics to match what you've written. I think that's a good way to really encourage reading in children. It can go both ways, but for me, I always put down my words, and then even though I don't know how to draw, then I can ask somebody, "Can you draw something that will match these words here?" I provide the content, and then they will help me with that. And I know you've been helping me too to do some of those graphics, right? And sometimes
Yeah.
you say, "Mommy, you got to learn to do this," because when I'm away in school, you got to learn to do these things by yourself. And you've actually taught me a lot. I'll say what most of the things that I learned from the computer is being taught by you, and I'm really so grateful for that. So now, are there any authors or books that have particular influence on your writing? Has any other books or authors influenced you in writing your own book?
No, don't think so. I just write it in my own way.
Okay, that is so wonderful. And, if anybody that is going to listen to this, or you're watching on Facebook or YouTube right now, I am talking to this young engineering student, aerospace engineering student, who is not just going to school, but also writing books. And this will be the second book that is going to be launched on Thursday, February 15, World Hippo Day. And this book is about the hippo. So, you may want to know, those of you who love animals, particularly the hippo in this case, you may want to, and you can pre-order the book. Feel free to pre-order. It's 99 cents. Is it? Am I right?
About $10, 9.99. That's the
Okay, for
price.
I'm talking about the Kindle copy.
Ah, yeah, the Kindle is available for pre-order for 1.99, and when the book comes out, it'll be available for 9.99. So those are the two prices for the versions of my book. Why are hippos so mean?
Okay, sorry about that. I might have misguided the audience somehow, thinking that is 99 cents. I'm thinking about my own publications. But yes, 199 for the Kindle copy, and the physical copy is going to be 9.99. Am I correct? Yes,
Yep, you
so
got it.
you can pre-order, and these books are good for homeschooling. They are good for even for schools anywhere in the world. These are books that children would love to lay hands on. The very first book, any child that laid hands on that book will not let it go. And this is very good. And this is to promote the early spirit of reading in our children, and to also promote other young people out there that are thinking about writing a book. It might be children's book, it might not be children's book, whatever you're thinking. Please be inspired by Al Tourey to write your own books, and who knows, maybe we can be in the author clubs together. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We will be here again on Wednesday, and the Thursday I will just be here. Feel free to stop by. Even on Wednesday, feel free to stop by, say a word or two, or just say hello, especially on Thursday. That is the launch date. Feel free to stop by and say hello. And pre-order. Let us support this young man to be Amazon number one international best-selling author. You can only support these children, and let us support these children together. Especially One Global Movement is here. If you have any projects that you want to do, or you're already doing, or you have a book that you want to write, or you've written a book and you don't know what to do with it, we are here as One Global Movement, helping young people worldwide, children included, worldwide, so that we can provide tools with which they can build on their hopes and their dreams, and also help to defeat hunger, illiteracy, and poverty worldwide. And this is one of the ways to do that here, by writing. Writing is very, very important for all of us. So, and if you have, and I will still ask you this again on Wednesday, because repetition is good, it sticks. Uh, if what message would you have for young people like you out there, or younger than you, or for children out there, and for parents? What message would you have from your book?
Uh, well, I'll start with everybody. This book, though it is targeted towards younger kids, it is for everybody to enjoy. I think everybody will get a laugh out of it. To the kids, if you got anything in mind, if you got any silly stories or serious stories, um, don't forget about them. Try to write it down, and maybe sooner than I did. And to all the adults, same thing. You got an idea, write it down, even if it's ridiculous. I will tell you a story about I heard about Stan Lee that just popped up in mind. So I think almost everybody knows who Spider-Man is. Um, and Stan Lee came up with the idea of Spider-Man. It initially got rejected, but he did not give up on that idea. So he published it on. It was like a. It was like a sub story on a big like comic book thing. I don't know exactly what. I don't remember exactly what, but it was on the cover or something. And then the same guy that rejected the idea came up to Stan Lee excitedly and said something like, "Oh, people are loving this idea. We should continue." And that's how Spider-Man came to be. So yeah, even if it's like ridiculous, I mean, some people would say that this character is ridiculous, but I mean, it's a simple cartoon to me. But hey, I put it out there on my first book, why how the special slot became fast, and I'm putting even more characters into this book. So, in summary, whatever you do, write it down. If you could draw it, draw it. Write down your ideas.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that idea. Writing things down is very important. Very, very important. I'm really so grateful that you are really using those lessons that we taught you, and you're doing the same, writing things down. If you have any idea, write it down. And for me, what I do, I sleep with books close to my bed, because if anything just runs across my mind, I get up and I put it down so I don't forget. So write it down. You heard him say, write it down. And if you think that, and some ideas are ridiculous, hey, still write it down, because there is nothing that is really that ridiculous. What is ridiculous to one person might not be ridiculous to another. So all things are here to serve a purpose. And thank you so much for writing based on these characters. You know, one character that I'm still waiting, that there one character that you have. Is it how do you call that your character that you so love so much?
Are you talking about the superhero?
Yeah, the superhero character.
Oh, his name is Captain Tourey because uh, that is spelled Captain number two Rays. I named him that because my last name is Tourey, and he's existed in drawing ever since about fifth grade. And the Captain Underpants story inspired me to draw him, and to write some amateurly drawn comic book stories. I'll hope to get one published soon.
Good. Yes, Captain Tourey, because I've seen that character here a lot. Captain Tourey is a character that when you see, is a character that is encouraging. It's a character that is so peaceful, but very encouraging. It's a gentle giant. Just like you hear him, Captain Tourey. Tourey is his last name. So thank you guys so much. And I know that he's gone. Spider-Man, I know he loves Spider-Man, but not anymore right now. I think he still loves it, but that's not his passion right now. There is this other character, Hitchhawk or Hedgehog. What do you call that character?
Sonic, the video
Sonic.
game character.
Sonic. He loves Sonic. And he would try for me to play Sonic games, but I don't know how to manipulate those controllers. So, but thank you guys so much, Mr. Tourey, for being here today. Thank you so much for listening to your parents. Thank you so much for taking the legacy of reading and writing to children of the world and to inspire children to begin to read at a very young age, just like you did. You are so highly honored and respected and loved here. And your story is going to be heard by billions of children around the world to encourage them to begin to write. Those that don't know how to write, we will begin to look for ways to teach them. And I'm grateful that you're going to still be helping children that are struggling with math concepts and higher math concepts so that they can rise above those challenges. And I like your teaching style. You're so gentle, so peaceful. Everybody likes it. Everybody that has come across you, they really like it. So thank you guys so much for coming in. And I know that you have a lot of schoolwork to do. I'm going to let you go. We will be here again on Wednesday at the same time. And for any reason, if you think that you can be here on Thursday, that's fine. But otherwise, I will be here for you until 12 midnight or above 12 midnight when the book launch starts. You said it starts at 12 midnight on Thursday, right? Or is it Wednesday?
Around there. Around there. It might be just before Thursday too.
I think it's a Wednesday midnight, breaking Thursday, right?
Yeah, the beginning of Thursday basically, or earlier.
Oh, it's
That's
Wednesday
when it'll be
midnight.
on.
Yeah. Okay, it's Thursday, Wednesday midnight, breaking Thursday, the Hippo day. So I will be there on Wednesday and Thursday. All right. Because being the founder of One Global Movement, the essence is to promote young people and children to help them with whatever tools that they need. And if we cannot, we try to look for the tools or information to where they can get those tools. But we are still young, we are still a baby, we are growing, but we are doing that. So thank you so much for being here today. And I will see you again on Wednesday. And I wish you the very best in your education and everything that you're doing. And I also wish all your friends in your apartment and your schoolmates. And I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.